Okay, so for this last part of the gun ace slot offset scheme, I want to look at the run plays. So the main two run plays I use out of this would be the inside zone, of course, which plays off the PA vert shot play, and then also the 0-1 trap run. Now, the 0-1 trap is really good versus certain meta defenses. It can be good against just defenses in general, but I think for regular, if I see like a 4-down lineman type set, typically I'd rather run inside zone than the 0-1 trap. But the 0-1 trap is really good, but I'm just going to show the 0-1 trap, just a couple snaps really quickly, and then I'm going to go to the inside zone. But we're going to go back to the 0-1 trap in a second because I want to show you what it's really effective against. But as you can see, even against a 4-down lineman, it can be good as well. But inside zone, for sure, like I said, it plays off the PA vert shot play, so that's even better. And, this is the run you really just, it's not a home run hitter by any means. I mean, you might have those chances to break it if the block's set up, but this is the keep them honest run. I'm looking for 4 to 5 yards. If I get 5 yards out of this, I consider that a super win. If I get 4 yards, I consider that that's what I'm aiming for, because you're not always going to get 5, but you want to try to hit that gap. But what you also want to do is still use the motions that we use in the pass plays to kind of catch them off guard. So, some plays we motion this guy over because that gets them thinking like, okay, it's for sure a pass, and they know it's a pass because in their mind they think they know it's a pass because we're just running so many different setups with these big plays with these motions, so they see that and they have to respect the fact that it's pass. I'm actually in the 0-1 trap there. I meant to audible to inside zone, but in their mind they think they have to worry about all these big plays, but we could just be running the ball too. So that is really something you want to do to play with their heads. And you see, I mean, you have the ability to break this inside zone, especially because we are in a 2 tight end set. That is why this is one of the better sets in the game, because you have such big playability as we've seen in the previous videos with this set, but the fact that it's a 2 tight end set means it's so easy to run the ball as well because we have that extra beef up there. And if they're in those bigger formations like dollar and dime, we have the ability to pancake their entire defense when we run. Now, it doesn't happen every single time, but it's going to happen some of the time, and when it does happen, you're talking about potentially a touchdown. Now, something else you can do when you're motioning these guys over is if you want to try to snap them right here too, just to give you extra blocking up the middle, you can. It doesn't always work the best. It's kind of hit or miss, but it's something you can sneak in there because they'll expect you to motion them all the way over, but sometimes you can catch people off guard by snapping it quicker and trying to get some extra blocking up the middle. But in the case with the Rams here, both of these receivers are very small, so it's not really the best thing to do with them. But I want to back out and I want to show you. So for example, tons of people are running, we don't have dollar in this playbook, unfortunately, but a lot of people are running nickel 3-5, which doesn't usually get pancaked, but a lot of people run dollar or dime. For example, we're going to go quarter here just because I don't have dollar in this playbook, but because I just want to show a 3-down line and just show you the 0-1 trap. So we'll try to make it look like dollar. So we'll bring, one of these, let's see, do something like this. We'll put him on the outside and kind of bring him up here to be like a linebacker. This is kind of this is what people do out of dollar, like DB Fire 2 press. These guys will be blitzing and they're on contains and they bring them in, and then they got the hook zones over the middle, and they're basically a lot of times people can shoot the gap and stop inside zones, but it's very hard to stop 0-1 traps with this. And just like that, we get hit in the backfield, of course, because I'm trying to make a point here, but. Nope, I mean, this is because we're running a quarter defense, whereas no one runs this in game. They run dollar, and they'll be blitzing these guys off the edge. But typically, they'll be baseline and pressed, something like that, out of dollar. And the 0-1 trap usually does a really good job at destroying this, and that's usually what you see happen when they try to run those type of setups, especially when they base align, and they have these slot cornerbacks in, like so. They have them on contains. Did not mean to do that right there. They'll have them on contains, and then this guy's up in the middle because this is the 2 linebackers you have to deal with, and this will usually just eat this up the middle because those 3-down lines do a very bad job at stopping 0-1 traps, whereas with inside zones work versus them, but it's easier for a user to manually shoot the gap versus the inside zone, which you can't do on this. And then, like I said, you also have the ability to sometimes get pancakes. I want to see if I can get it to trigger here. but it's not triggering. But you see, like right there, a couple guys got pancaked. So a lot of times in game, when you're running versus these heavier sets that people like to defend the pass out of, you see how like these guys like right here just got thrown on their back. Like all these guys on this side of the field got thrown on their back, or pretty much everybody. We didn't really get a good run out of this because this guy kind of shot through here, but everybody's getting put on their back that gets touched, and when that happens, a lot of times it results in really big runs because literally everybody that's trying to, anybody that gets a hand put on them, they're getting put on their back, and a lot of times that can lead to you breaking it for a touchdown. So that's what's good about a formation like this, because we have those dual tight ends. We have the ability to abuse people that want to run dollar or dime or nickel 3-3-5 versus us, because we have a blocking advantage if we know how to use it right. When you see dollar and dime, or excuse me, like dollar and 3-3-5, typically you want to go with the 0-1 trap because it's a 3-down line and it's going to work better. If it's a 4-down line, you want to go inside zone. But that's not to say, like I said, inside zone can be successful versus all of them because of the blocking we have. But just note, someone that's a little more advanced may be able to manually shoot the gap easier against the inside zone than they would be able to against an 0-1 trap. So keep that in mind when running the ball out of this formation. So that is the offset, the ace slot offset scheme. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.